right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. It is a hot day in LA. I hope you are staying cool yourself, but I will be honest, this is also a very, very hot Palantir chart right here, okay? There is so much to like, and oh man, I've been saying it. This is one of the stocks where you should really just be averaging up, you know what I mean? And from what I see, if Monday does what Monday needs to do, oh man, there's some crazy targets that might actually be coming on Palantir. All right, NVIDIA. Look, NVIDIA's a beast. And NVIDIA's not here to drop like 10% days. You know what I mean? That is very much the slow and steady tortoise that is going to win the race. Like there is no belief that any fast moving hare is going to catch that turtle. You know what I mean? So NVIDIA's doing NVIDIA things. It's just, yeah, slow and steady, baby. Don't expect too much more, right? And then look, C3 AI isn't doing what I want it to do. Okay, and I think that's why I'm still a little hesitant on the smaller AI stocks I'm going to cover on the next video, right? But I think once C3 AI does better, I believe a little more in those two. But I think if Palantir delivers on Monday, that should help lift C3 AI, which hopefully will help lift like SoundHound, Guard Force, Big Bear, Bullfrog, right? So all that said, before we go any further, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video on the internet, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do really does help me out with these YouTube algorithms. For real, sharing the video is actually the biggest thing because I am not the best at that. But hey, just being here and giving me your time is already super appreciated, all right? So look, Palantir. If you watched my videos before, you know how much I hate moving average clusters, all right? Just, it's so hard to escape, and yeah, it feels like this was a year ago, but I still very much remember this super tight trading. And look, one of two things happens, all right? Either you HUSA lose it and die, or you Palantir ride it and fly, all right? And man, it's been nothing but fantastic. You know, if you watch my videos, I talk about the 8 and the 20, and all we have done is bounce off the 8, lose it a little bit, and then use the 20 to kind of take us back, right? And that pretty much happened like picture book in these last little 2 weeks. You can almost call it, yeah, I'd call it like a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? But it looked like it was going to go. I always say the doji, right? Like the day after the doji should be pretty indicative. And we go down and we actually hold it down, right? But despite that, the 20 does its job. And yes, one day under the 20 might be bad. Confirmation is what's key. And yeah, this did not confirm. This actually said, no, don't forget who we are here, okay? The few things that I really do like are actually down here. Let me just say this alone is so much to like, because again, if you can bounce on a line, it really in my head enforces that like this line is my friend, right? What used to be, because it wasn't that long, right? Like this thing couldn't get over it, right? There are times when the 8 and the 20 are not your friend. When that's not the case, it literally is, you just can't lose the line. And that's a beautiful thing. And one more time, when you actually hit it and go, beautiful. You know what I mean? Just reinforcing these two as we're watching the like the 50 still going up, the 100 still going up, even the slowest of the slowest, the 200s is actually going up, right? So there's still a lot to like. And again, what did I say? I like these down here. The one thing I have to start with, look, at one point this RSI was at an 81, then it was over here again, 81, 79. Okay, I thought that was still like, this, I don't want to say this is like NASDAQ, all right? Because there are obviously some stocks that can go well above, and you can see it right here. It's done it, right? 89, 90, like it knows how to live up here, right? But in a lot of ways, I believe this thing is a very clean stock at this point, and that generally means when you hit 80, you got to kind of cool down. And it's so good to go from an 81 RSI to a 61 RSI and not crash, because that's a drop and a half, right? But when you can drop RSI, when you can drop MACD and stay relatively horizontal, that's strength. It really is. And Friday, man, Friday got me so excited for Monday for a few reasons. All right, number one, volume cracks the 50 moving average. Just look at this. It's been a really long time since that's actually happened, since we've gotten over the white line, and I'm glad it's a green one, and I'm glad how much higher it got, right? Like the lines here, we're actually an extra 20 million over it, right? So if we're saying that the average is, let's roughly say 80, we added an extra 20% and took it over 100, right? That's cool. That's strength, right? Oh, my cat's stuck at the door. Hi, you want to leave? Sorry. Hold on. Go for it. Hi, baby. All right. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, again, right? Volume is king in my book, and if you're gonna smash the 50, you're gonna smash it by an extra 20%, and you're gonna do it for the first time in a while. I like that. RSI, like I said, has been coming down. It now kind of looks like it's going up, and again, it's happening at a very healthy 61. And MACD, one more time, never slips into the negative. It was close, but MACD never slips into the negative, and again, it hasn't happened yet. But I think I'm going to go and just be a little aggressive, and I do believe that that's slipping over on Monday's action. And here's kind of what I said in the beginning. So why am I really liking where we're at right now? Look, I think it'll make a little bit more sense when no, this is actually a decent view. Let's just look at it from here. So this line, this 1850 is this horizontal, and basically 50% of this and the bottom of this, right? Just rough numbers. Again, my line, we're not here for perfect. I promise you good enough will make or save you some really good money, all right? But if this breaks, we might be running up to this 23, if not even a little higher, actually. Because again, what's at this 21? Not too much. There really isn't a hard line right here. Like when I say line, like this, there's no like hard plateau. There's not even a crazy like spike line, right? Like you can maybe argue this. I don't even think so. And in some ways, I almost feel like I should be lifting this to almost right here at 22. And then I see this line right here. Let me go to the weekly. I don't know if that's too many lines, and I should. Yeah, I'm gonna delete this. I am. I don't think let me go to the weekly. Let me make sure there's nothing silly from the weekly. Yeah, there's nothing there, right? 21. Get out of here, 21 line. Let me get rid of this 21 line. Okay, I'm gonna delete that, and then do I lower that to here or keep that there? Yeah, I'm going to lower that to here. I think that's decent right there, actually. And then I'm going to lower this to here. Because really what I'm seeing is a bit of a horizontal, a bit of a peak thing here, a little bit there, a little bit like, yeah, I think these are better lines. And then why are you not showing me the price on that one? Show value, 26. Okay, again, going from 17 to almost 30 is hardcore, all right? And look what really happens after this. If 26 breaks, things could get crazy on this stock, all right? So don't anticipate that just yet. But again, if this 1850 breaks, there's a good shot we run to like here, maybe 24, if not this 22, you know what I mean? So I like Palantir. I like it a lot. And again, I think that, and also just look, we are well over the biggest candle to the left now. You know how much I like that, right? So what does the weekly look at? I know I quickly flash it, but we're over all the moving averages. Look, this 100 line doesn't seem long. Like, I'm not going to count every single one of these, right? But once we've traded for 200 weeks, that's when the 200 moving average will form. At this time, you can see it in the box over there, we only have 4 moving averages and they're all below us. This still looks really healthy. I know that's a high 80 RSI, but you know, I think that's at least telling me we're going to come to the 22. Maybe not break it, maybe not break the 26 yet, just either, but I don't think this is done going up, actually. So Palantir, like a champ, to say the least, all right? NVDA. Okay, NVIDIA, again, look, I know this looks like a small little 1%, all right? What I'm really seeing is actually a better support and movement on the 20 than we saw on Palantir, all right? One more time, let me just flash it real quick. Palantir slips under. Palantir slips under. Hey, even right here, it kind of wicks and scares a little bit, all right? NVIDIA, look at this thing. Just since the earnings gap up, it's been nothing but holding the 20 like a, I mean, like Mike Tyson in his prime level champ, right? And in a lot of ways, it's barely losing the 8 moving average, right? Like, this is as textbook as it gets of bouncing on the 8, bouncing on the 20, getting back over the 8, bouncing on the 20, bouncing on the 20. Like, it looks like, because this is the biggest candle to the left. It's not this guy. I know that this is the highest one that we want to get over, and obviously it'll go crazier if it goes over that, but like, yeah, we're over this thing's going to want to go up again. And again, look, what did we just do? We took our RSI from an 80 back to a 60 something, ready to take this thing back. You know what I mean? And again, MACD never even gets close to 0, right? I think it's ready to go. Like, this is not here to do like this. Might also happen again. Look, it's been a couple months, right, since the last earnings. Gotta believe sometime maybe late August, maybe a month from now, give or take, we're gonna get the next earnings, right? So do I think it's gonna be another 20 burger gap up? I don't think so, right? I think this kind of established the AI hype, but like, do I want to bet against it? Hell no. This is NVIDIA, right? So again, it's incredibly hard to just go against this, okay? And one more time, we've literally never slipped the 20, okay? And let's pretend we do. Let's just pretend we lose the 20 at some point. I would bet so much money that the 50 is not going to get lost. You know, like, we still have not bounced on the 50 yet. And that is another thing that could happen, right? So NVIDIA, it is so far away from bad things happening in my sincere opinion, all right? And again, look, like, this is a high RSI on the weekly, all right? For sure. It's literally been living up here. It's been living at this line for what feels like, I mean, what, 2 months and a bit now, right? Like, this is an 89. The month before that was an 84. And like, this line right here is also a whole mess of 80s that just isn't as high as this line of 80s. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I know it's hard to be like, how is this thing gonna go up so much and keep going up? The truth just really is, as long as NASDAQ's running, NVIDIA is gonna run. All right, and just look at NASDAQ. Those are really good indicators down there. We've also never lost the 20 here. And again, if we do, we're for sure going to bounce on the 50. You know what I mean? So like, NVIDIA, just let it do its thing. Don't get greedy. Don't ask for bigger things. Just let it do its thing, because it's doing its thing really well, okay? C3AI. Okay, what's happening here that's not happening on the other ones? All right, look, in some ways, yes, I see it. There's actually a little bit of an uptrend from this little down to here. What I just don't like is that's a whole lot of horizontal. All right, we've essentially like stayed on this 39.75 line. Like, that's where we've been living for all of July. Again, let's start this video over real quick. Palantir actually went relatively up, okay? NVIDIA, not NVIDIA, NVIDIA. went relatively, not even relatively, this went up actually really nicely. C3 AI, just AI is all I need. C3 AI hasn't. This thing's been going horizontal, all right? And look, I often say one of two jokes. Number one, hey, horizontal is better than going down. I am not here pretending that that's not true, right? But look, if you're going to leave your money horizontally, just throw that thing in the bank, right? Like, again, I'm a little bit of a crackhead, right? So for me, horizontal is boring, but this is nothing more than horizontal. Not only is this horizontal, MACD is actually still going down. MACD is still red over green, all right? RSI still going down, even more immediate, still going down. And volume, look, I'm not calling it pathetic. This is a 15 million, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of shares just about every single day. The problem is we're not cracking our 50 moving average line. All right. I for sure see more green buys than red sells in the volume. So yeah, again, people are buying, people are holding. That's cool. You got to crack the 50 moving average to start going up. Again, this line is nothing more than a C if we're talking about like school grades, right? Like if you can't do better than the average, you're below a C. Like we're talking literally the middle of the bell curve, right? So, you know, volume's kind of the issue, and hopefully, one more time, I started off by saying I think Palantir is going to do really well. I also said that I think NVIDIA is going to keep going up. Hopefully, between the two of those, that helps C3 AI go up, okay? This is also closest to the 50 moving average, right? I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to come down, but like this thing needs to take off a little bit. It does. And remember, if it does, I think it's easier to see on the weekly. There are some nice, like, there's a little bit of again, going from 40 to 50 though is still a really good 25% move, right? But yeah, there's definitely, especially on the weekly, a pretty hard horizontal here. So I think 50 is going to be a little bit hard to break just based on this, but this is actually the best of the weeklies comparative to the other two, because this is actually still relatively low, right? Like if this actually could have some good days that lead into good weekly candles, that might help it run for a few weeks, right? But yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit hard between these two lines, especially since it's a weekly thing. And then really behind it, hopefully, but again, from there, you're just jumping up another like 10 or 20 bucks, right? So look, AI, like I said, I think a lot is riding on the coattails of Palantir. And until this does well, I do not believe in the lower four, right? The Soundhound, Guard Force, Bullfrog, and BBAI. So, hey, these are just my thoughts and opinions. Please let me know yours. Otherwise, hey, thank you, thank you, thank you.